Hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Paper Happenicity with Monica. My name is Monica Formosa and I'm an independent Stepping Up demonstrator here in the Wide Bay area of Queensland in Australia. That's on the east coast. So today I'm creating a card or showing you how I created a card for Colour Inspiration Challenge number 172. We've got 3 colours today, but we can also add in our neutrals and our metallics, so you're not just confined to these 3. You also, if you want to participate, you don't need to have a blog, but you are very welcome to do a blog post or do a Facebook post or whatever other social media avenues that you have. You're more than welcome to put up a post and link to that. Put up a post on the Colour Inspiration wall and then a link to your social media, whatever you do. Okay. All right. So our image, our inspiration image was actually chosen by myself. And what normally happens is that we get asked to throw in some inspiration photos, and then the lovely Lou gets to choose the colours herself. So I don't actually pick the colours, I just pick the inspiration photos. So that's what we're working with today. So this is the card that I created ahead of time, so that I could photograph it and then write up my blog. I'm not sure whether you can see that. It uses the Enduring Beauty bundle, and then also the Perennial Postage dies. And then the papers I've used are sweet. Oh, what are they? These ones here. Let me just grab them out. Nature Sweetness. And this is, if I can, bits and pieces here everywhere. And this is the actual paper that I used in the background. It has a lovely gold foiling distressed over the print, which is lovely. Just adds a little bit of texture and interest to your backgrounds. Okay, so I have my 3 inks. We are going to be doing a little bit of ink blending. So I have my my blending brushes, a green and a yellow. And just excuse me today, I have kind of, I think it's allergies or something is going on. I might sound a little bit nasally. I'm not sure what I'm fighting. I'm hoping that's all it is. So I've got the Enduring Beauty stamp set. We'll be using this large image here. And then the sentiment that I used was holding you close in my heart. That's a lovely one for anyone that's going through a difficult time, or even condolences, sympathy, yeah, whatever really. And then I have the dies, and I've used the label here to die cut out my sentiment. I have the dies, the masks rather, and then I've got Perennial Postage dies, and we're going to be using, I think it's the second to largest, just to cut out that image after we've done with our masking. All right, so in my card kit, I will put that here. And I've written out all the measurements, and I will put them here so that if you're more than welcome to take a screenshot. All right, so I have a card base in Pebbled Path, and for the inside I've also trimmed down a piece of basic white, and that's I think it's like a 1/4 of an inch smaller than my card base. Now this card base, this is not my normal sized card base. I've actually made it to the US size or the Northern American size. So that is, whatever that is, 11. So we've got 11 by 4 1/4. And I've done it that way because of this die here. It just, I just thought it just, the proportions were much better than my usual sized card base. Okay, so that's why that's a little bit different this time. So we've got those out. I will need those later, put them in a safe spot. Okay, so my card base, and then I've got my piece of my piece of paper, DSP pattern paper, which is 4 inches across by 5 1/2, by 4 1/4. Sorry, so that's just 1/4 of an inch smaller on 2 sides. We have our peach pie matte layer, and that measures 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, and that is 1/2 an inch smaller than the paper and behind it. And then our piece of Pebbled Path matte layer, okay, and that measures 3 3/8 by 4 5/8, and that just gives you a smaller, narrower border on all 4 sides. So this is how it's all going to look. We've got a teeny tiny border all the way around. I'm not one of these that will go down 1/4. I like to stagger mine just so that it's not all the same. And that way the eye is drawn into the center, or the center focal point of your card. And then we're going to color that image, and then we're going to put that over the top like that. Okay. All right. So that's all our pieces. I have gone ahead and done some stamping. And of course, this is half a sheet of basic white cardstock. You'll need 2 images, one to color. And then this one, what I've done is I've cut it out and just put a little section on the inside just to pull in that image. If you wanted to, you could definitely color that. That's entirely up to you. But yes, so that's the second image, and you probably only need a little bit. I think I only needed this section here by the looks of it. So we're going to cut that out. You can either use the die, because there are dies, or you can fussy cut, whatever you prefer. Okay, so here are the masks, and these masks are amazing, I've got to say, and they are numbered. But just because they're numbered, so that's our first one, and that will color. I'm not really sure how this goes. No, here we go. So that's our number 1, and that colors the flowers. That gives us a base color for our flowers. And then number 2 is the base for our leaves. Okay. Number 3 are the shadows for our flowers. And that just gives a little bit of shadowing to give it a little bit of dimension. And then number 4 is the leaves, the detail on the leaves, and that basically goes over all the lines where the veins are. And there's also a couple of little buds in here. If you didn't want to color them with the leaves, you could mask them off with your either masking paper or your post-it notes, and not do them the same. They really should have been the same as the flowers, but anyway, that's okay. Although if they're buds, kind of when, as a bud is growing, they do have that green over a green covering before they bloom. And then this is the whoops, no, this way. And these are just the last little bit of details on the flowers. Okay, all right. So, and they also have these notches that if you stamp on a full sheet of cardstock, you can use these notches. You can use your blending brush just to color that notch and use that notch to line up where your masks need to go. Okay, so we need to do that first. I've got a block here and I'm going to apply, so I've actually stamped that in Pebble Path. And I've got a block here and I'm going to add a little bit of color to each end of my block. So that was Peach Pie. And then I'll add a little bit of Garden Green. I think my Garden Green needs re-inking by the looks of that. Okay, so we're going to start with our flowers first. Now I hope you can see, because last time what happened, last time my camera actually moved and I didn't realize it. So all right, and this might wobble a little bit. All right, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of that Pebbled Path. I'm going to take it off just a little bit because we don't need much for the base. And I can use that later. All right, so very gently starting on your mask and then really gently bringing that color onto your paper. You can pick up that and go again. Right, start off light and then you can apply more color if it's not as dark as you like. Okay. All right, so there's our first. All right, now because I'm going to not swap over my brushes, I'm going to grab mask. What was this? Number 3, I think this was. Number 3. Number 3, and we're going to add the first layer of detail. And after you've used these a little bit, you kind of get to know where they should go. All right, so there we go. And once again, add a little bit of ink, but I'm going to take most of that off. And that's just the corner of my mask there, and I can pick that up later. And I've moved that a little bit. All right, so going in again, we're going to add a little bit more color. Pick up that ink that's there. And add a little bit more color. I might just grab a little bit more off my block there. All right, just so go lightly because you can always add more, but once it's down, you can't take it away. All right, so there we have, not quite as dark as my original. It's more of a subtle kind of coloring this time round, but that's okay. And then the last little bit of my flower is around these stamens. This way I think it goes. Yeah. Now I kind of feel that for some reason my mask hasn't quite lined up properly. They haven't cut this as well as I would like, but we're going to go for it. Okay, that's not too bad. See, this one here I'm not too happy with, but that's all right. So so these are, we can go in just that little bit darker here. I'm going to, and then I'm just going to move that one just a little bit so it's more central. Okay, so there are our flowers, and that's, so now we're going to find our first leaf, this way, no, this way, that's it. All right, so we're going to add the first layer of our green. So add a little bit of green, and once again, just go gently, lightly, because we don't want too much to start with. Okay. So really, really subtle this time. And then we will go in now with the details. All right, and there's a couple of stems in there that really need to, if you have the mini blending brushes, it might be a better idea, but the larger ones work just as well. All right, I really want to try and get quite a bit of colour there. Oops, I've moved that, bloomin' heck. Okay. Okay. Could have went a bit darker, but that's okay. All right, so now what I need to do, I've done all my masking, and these inks are just water-based, so you can just throw them in the wash, and they just wash off really, really well. Oh, no, I don't need that, but I won't lose that. I'll stick that down. Put that back in there, and I'll just get my cut and emboss machine. And I will there's too much on my desk. All right, so here we go. And I use a little bit of washi tape just to hold it in place. Now this is always the tricky bit, making sure that this is down. I have heard of a tip that you can, if you've got a window in front of you, you can lift this up and kind of use the light behind there to get your die in place, but you normally just wing it and hope for the best. Cross my fingers, hope for the best. Okay, and I'm going to, maybe tape that down. All right, put our clear plate on top. Just bring this in a little bit closer. And we'll make sure that's all lined up. Oh, and we'll run that through. Alright, so there's that. Turned out better. And I think while we're here, we might just cut this one out as well. So we can use this on the inside. And like I said, while you were colouring with your masks, you could have easily coloured that little section for the inside. But I actually don't mind it not being coloured. And if you kind of feel it's looks a little bit unfinished, by all means, go ahead and colour it. It's your card, it's your creation, and you make it how you want to. And I'll just need to move that out the road. My block was there with all the ink still on there. Okay, so I'll take that away. That's rubbish. My dies are here. All right. Okay, put them away, put them away. All right, and I can put this over here because I really don't have enough space. Okay, I'm going to take this away because I think we don't need that anymore. All right, so let's put it all to, we need some twine, guys. Twine, where's my linen thread? My linen thread, and then I'm also using the iridescent foil gems. Okay, so I'm going to, I need my machine again, because what I've gone and done is I've gone and, do you know what I've done? Silly goosey me, I've actually cut this out, and it was meant to cut out with the Perennial postage, but that's all right. We can fix that. All right, glue. I need my glue. And you're probably all telling me, no, that's not how it goes. But did I listen? Not at all. All right, so that's that. So what we could do is that we could actually just put that on there without the Perennial postage die. I'll bring in my original. Right, so that's my original. Let's just do that, hey? Because that will work. Absolutely. And before I'll glue this on. So if you don't have the Perennial postage dies, that's what you could do. Make sure the print is going the right way up. And my preferred envelope is a portrait tent fold. That's really not, I can't move that now, it's down. Okay. So for this, what I'm going to do is just put that into the corner that. And a little trick is if you use, let me get my Post-it notes. All right, so what I'm going to do, my Post-it notes, let me bring this, I hope you can see. So work out where you want to go, and then we're going to line up the edge of my Post-it note with the edge of that piece of basic white, and then the same thing here, line up the edge, and then we're going to take that away and we're just going to glue that section in here. And then we're going to put this back, lining up those edges. Oh, lining up the edges and trying not to move it. There we go. We can save those for later. And then we can grab our snips and just snip that off. And that can go into the middle. I've kind of gone, I don't know which is going to be the best way to do this. I've skipped a couple of steps here, sorry guys. All right, so that's for the middle. I did that because that was getting in the road. All right, so let's stick that in the middle while I've got that in my hand. So in the center with a border, equal border around all four sides. Okay, now this one I need some linen thread. And I never cut, if I'm doing ribbon or any kind of trim, I never cut my piece. I always leave it attached because I'm a little bit frugal like that. Okay, my snips. And we'll just make them a little bit neater. You can leave them a bit longer if you want them a little bit longer. I think that's pretty tight. If that wasn't tight, you could pull it in and just stick it down with a little bit of double-sided tape. Okay, and then now I think I actually might put them up on dimensionals, to tell you the truth. How about that? Just for something different, because we can. Oops, that's come off the... And yes, I colour the backs of my dimensionals so that I can see if I have taken the backs off them or not. Okay, I might take a pick tool. If you wanted to, you can add a little bit of glue. I like to do this so it allows me a little bit of wriggle time to get it where I need it to be. Okay, I think we're going to go this way. And I really, kind of need to pull that around a bit more, I feel. and oops, maybe a bit higher. So it's in that spot there. That's what I'm after. All right, so it's overhanging there on a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to roll that over and just apply a little bit of pressure while that glue dries and sets, or sets and dries, and then we'll just apply just a little bit of glue. Again, if you wanted to, you could use dimensionals. My tools. Okay, so there's the original. And there's today's. It does pop on that coloured background. Okay, and then you've got the inside, and then last but not least, we need to add some gems. And this is a brand new packet, so all right, what are we doing here? I might put a big one kind of here, and then we'll do another big one under here, and then a smaller one maybe here. And we need to put our, now for my sentiment, I actually had the strips of the foam strips, and of course it's not in my little box of tricks here, so obviously they're falling out somewhere. Let me have a look in my image. And I trim mine down because they are way too long. And I'll put one on each edge, top and bottom. So the foam adhesive strips, they come in sheets that are about this long. And I'm not quite sure where to put this now because we've done this a little bit different. But there we go. There's today's card. And just goes to show when you fluff things up, you can modify and change, and it still works out, because that's all part of our journey, in our card making journey. All right, so there's today's card. Still uses exactly the same products except for those Perennial postage dies. Yeah, so there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please go and have a look at our Facebook group. It's a great way. I love Colour Inspirations because it's a great way of using colours that we don't normally would use in our card making. It just pushes us out of our comfort zone just that little bit. So yeah, and we are a lovely bunch of ladies. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to all my new subscribers recently. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful having you join me. It's always great to know that my videos are getting out there in YouTube land. So yeah, great. All right, have a great week, everyone. Hope you're having the weather's treating you kind wherever you are, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.